Welcome back to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. Pressure is really mounting on President Ruto to show Kenyans at least one mega project that he has funded, he has budgeted for, and he has launched ever since he took oath of office. This is coming after experts are saying that he is busy launching either what Uhuru had initiated or those that Uhuru had accomplished. Now, there is an information that is coming up after William Ruto over the weekend, I think, launched a road that goes by the name Thika Magumu Road. As William Ruto was launching this project, of course, he takes all the political glam and credit there, and one might think that this was his project. Of course, they were together in this. This picture shows the Republic of Kenya program for the official launch of Thika Magumu Road by His Excellency the President Honorable William Samoei Ruto, PhD, CGH, there on Sunday. So this is something that was done on Sunday. But then experts went a notch higher and went to the archives of the Kenya National Highways Authority. Now, in 2020, and to be very precise, on 28th August 2020, that is now 2 years down the line, the Kenya National Highways Authority was giving an overview of what they had started, what they had achieved, their plan for the roads in Kenya. They said there is a snippet that is given there that works along the Thika Magumu Road have also already commenced. Once complete, the 67-kilometer road will enable motorists to coming from Nakuru Highway to access Thika Road without passing through Nairobi, thus significantly easing traffic congestion into and out of town. Now, this tells you very clearly that during the Uhuru presidency, they had put a plan together, and this road that he's now launching is one that was initiated by his predecessor. I don't have a problem when William Ruto launches a project like this. And I believe many other people don't have a problem. The only problem that people have is that the government of the day continues to criticize the former president in such a manner that you would think there is nothing good that the former president did to the country. In fact, there is this reasoning and argument and a discussion that is going on that when the former president, the late president Daniel Toroitich Moi took over power, it came against a backdrop of a mafia from Mount Kenya that had really mistreated him when he was a vice president. If you read books in the archives, they will tell you that when the late former Attorney General Charles Njonjo picked Moi to replace the vice president who had just resigned, he knew, and they used to describe him as a passing cloud, because they knew the founding father of the nation, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, was on his twilight days, and they knew that sooner or later he was going to either take a rest from active politics, or he was going to rest with the Lord, because his age had indicated at some point he had collapsed twice in an event, and they knew that he didn't have many years to live according to the human expectation. So they were planting someone they knew very well they could easily manipulate and remove. As fate had it, Moi, when Kenyatta died in Mombasa, Eliud Mahi, who was I think he was a PC there, arranged things very fast, and you know what happened. one thing led to the other, and Toroitich Moi became the president. He did not revenge against anyone, despite the fact that they were really traumatizing him. If he did, maybe it was very indirect, not the way this government is doing it. Galamu and Haki Umpe, give credit where it's due. You know, when William Ruto goes ahead to launch projects that they did together, they initiated together with his, predecessor, then you wonder, it behoves one to ask, why do you take credit to a project that either you had disowned, because at some point Uhuru was on his own, Ruto was on his own. So when it comes to launching this project, William Ruto wants to take all the credit. But when it comes to the failures of the government, he's not part and parcel of it. He says that they inherited an economy that was really ailing, an economy that was on its knees. And they really blame Uhuru for that. At some point, our deputy president says that money was stuck into some bags and flown into some unknown area. Yet, when it comes to projects that were also serviced by taxpayers' money, then they take credit. This is the reason why people have a problem with this. Number two, Kenyans have allowed our administration to really hoodwink us. We need to just, ask them, apart from all these projects that, because we've even seen them relaunching, leave alone the one that was initiated, at least this one was initiated by Uhuru Kenyatta. We've seen him relaunching. Relaunching means something that has been launched. And you see, this is the height of hypocrisy. I always say that I like what President Ruto once said, that we have a shortage of fools in the country. Tuna upungufu wa wajinga. And you cannot deceive all the people all the time. You cannot deceive some people sometimes. And this is the reason, ladies and gentlemen, why people are asking. I think it is high time that the government would sit down with the think tanks and chart their way forward. I understand that our government has a program that sometimes cuts across over 10 years. Uhuru had a program, and some of these mega projects would elapse beyond his term limit, because he was to retire in 2022. These projects were to overlap up to 2023 to 2024. It is highly expected that the government that be are the ones that will be in charge of them. Even when Kibaki retired, Uhuru and Ruto took over their project. Think like SGR, housing projects, some roads, electricity. Those were some of the plans that had been put by the previous government. But when they came in, they didn't criticize. They perpetuated some of those projects to the benefit of Kenyans. Because by the end of the day, it should be service to the common man, rather than taking mileage, rather than trying to criticize here and there. We are yet to see his own project. What, to the best of my knowledge, I have seen him go out there, tell us that they met the CEO of Google and Apple and what. I've seen him promising us that he's about to go to, is it Dubai, that we were promised some project there, about 20,000 jobs that they are going to be employed. I have seen him promising people a lot, but I've never seen any tangible project that belongs to him. Let Kenya understand that we must be able to differentiate between a project that is being perpetuated and a project that someone has initiated. If it is a budget, it was budgeted during Uhuru regime. Everything, it was launched during the Uhuru regime. So even if the president is coming up to launch them, let us know. And I really urge him to even state that these were projects that were initiated by the former leadership, so that we just lay bare things the way they are. Otherwise, this height of hypocrisy is one that will still kill us. Let us stop blame game. Let us stop politicking, and let us begin uniting the country. Let us begin being honest with each other and launch project that will be very beneficial to the common man. Let all the citizens put the government to task. Because when we sleep, the government realizes that we are sleeping. That is it. We need to wake up and put the government to task. If this will not happen, then after 5 years, we will give the government an opportunity to come and promise us more. Yet he has not. They have not even implemented the ones that they had given us. And I think the rallying call is quite in order, because we cannot be hoodwinked that projects are being launched, yet there are things that were launched during the previous regime. And that is my take.